Book named Girls' Pleasure Secrets, which is written and published by Dr. Prashant. Overview: Girls' Pleasure Secret. Girls' Pleasure Secret is an open, intimate journey into understanding and unlocking the unique aspects of female sexuality and pleasure. This book is written for anyone who wants to explore the depths of desire, connection, and intimacy from a woman's perspective. It doesn't shy away from the raw truth of what women truly crave in and out of the bedroom, while presenting this in an easy-to-read, real-world style. Whether you're someone looking to better understand your own body or hoping to connect more deeply with a partner, this book is your guide. We'll dive into topics like the art of foreplay, discovering desires, the role of emotional connection, and how sex can be more than just a physical act. It can be a deeply fulfilling experience. Along the way, we'll share real-life advice, tips, and insights that celebrate the magic of a woman's body and her needs. Chapter 1. The Language of Touch, Awakening Her Sexual World. Touch is one of the most powerful ways to communicate love, passion, and desire. For a woman, the right kind of touch can open the door to her deepest feelings and awaken her sexual world. It's not just about physical contact. It's about the emotion behind it, the intent, and the energy you bring into that moment. When you touch her with care and genuine desire, it sends a message that she is seen, valued, and adored. This chapter will explore the importance of touch in building intimacy, understanding her responses, and creating a connection that goes beyond words. Every woman is unique, and the way she responds to touch can vary depending on her mood, the setting, and her level of trust with you. The first step to awakening her sexual world is learning to pay attention to her body and her reactions. Touch is a conversation between your hands and her skin, and like any good conversation, it requires you to listen as much as you act. Rushing or assuming what she wants can create discomfort, but a slow, thoughtful approach can lead to moments of deep pleasure and connection. Begin by setting the tone. Touch is most effective when a woman feels relaxed and safe. The atmosphere matters, so think about the space around you. Is it inviting? Are the lights soft, the environment calm, and free of distractions? A relaxed mind allows her to fully feel and enjoy the sensations. Often, creating this kind of space starts before any physical contact. Speak softly, look into her eyes, and let her feel that she has your undivided attention. These small but meaningful gestures make her feel desired and respected. When you touch her, start with areas that feel natural and non-invasive, like her hands, arms, or back. These areas can help you build a sense of trust and ease before moving toward more intimate zones. Use gentle strokes or soft squeezes, paying attention to how she responds. If she leans into your touch, you're moving in the right direction. If she pulls away or seems distracted, it's a sign to slow down or check in with her. Sometimes, even the simplest touches, like holding her hand or running your fingers along her arm, can ignite sparks if done with intention. One of the most sensitive areas to explore is her neck. The skin here is thin and filled with nerve endings, making it a powerful spot to focus on. Soft kisses along her neck or light touches with your fingertips can send shivers down her spine. Don't rush. Let her feel the warmth of your breath or the smooth glide of your lips. These moments are about building anticipation and letting her savor the sensation. Always remember that touch is not just about technique, it's about the energy you bring to it. Be present, and she will feel that connection. Another area often overlooked is her back. A slow, sensual massage can be a wonderful way to help her relax and open up. Use your hands to apply gentle pressure, moving in circles or long strokes. The back is a place where tension often builds, and by helping her release that tension, you create a pathway for her to feel more at ease and more open to deeper intimacy. Don't be afraid to ask what feels good or to adjust based on her feedback. Open communication enhances the experience and shows her that her pleasure matters to you. Once trust and connection have been built through these initial touches, you can begin to explore more intimate areas. Erogenous zones like the inner thighs, the lower back, or the curve of her hips are incredibly sensitive and can create waves of pleasure when touched the right way. Light, teasing touches in these areas can build anticipation and desire. The key is to take your time. Let her body guide you as she becomes more responsive to your movements. Every moment should feel like an exploration, not a race to a destination. It's also important to remember that touch is not just about where you place your hands, it's about how you use them. A mix of textures and pressures can create different sensations that keep things exciting. Sometimes a soft, feathery touch can feel incredibly sensual, while at other times, a firmer grip or a passionate hold can convey a deeper intensity. Pay attention to her breathing, her body language, and the sounds she makes. These are her ways of communicating what she enjoys and what excites her. Another layer to touch is eye contact. When you touch her, let your eyes meet hers from time to time. This creates an emotional connection that makes the experience feel even more intimate. A glance, a smile, or a whispered word can amplify the feelings created by your hands. Touch is not just physical, it's emotional. The more you can connect with her on all levels, the more powerful the experience becomes. Lastly, touch should always be rooted in consent and mutual enjoyment. Check in with her, not just with your words but with your actions. If she seems hesitant or uncomfortable, pause and give her space to share her feelings. A woman's comfort and trust are the foundation of her sexual pleasure. When she feels completely at ease, she can let go and fully embrace the sensations you are creating together. Touch is an art, and like any art, it takes practice, patience, and creativity. By approaching it with care and curiosity, you can unlock new depths of connection and pleasure. The language of touch is powerful because it speaks directly to the heart and the soul. When done with love and intention, it has the ability to awaken a woman's sexual world and create moments of intimacy that she will cherish forever. Chapter 2. Unlocking the key to her pleasure, the magic of foreplay. Foreplay is often misunderstood or overlooked, yet it is one of the most important elements of a deeply satisfying sexual connection. For many women, pleasure doesn't begin with the act of sex itself. It begins long before, through the buildup of desire, attention, and emotional intimacy. Foreplay is not just a warm-up or something to rush through. It is an essential part of creating connection, trust, and arousal. When done with care and intention, it opens the door to deeper intimacy and lasting pleasure. The beauty of foreplay lies in the fact that it is unique for every woman. What excites one person might not work for another, and this is where communication becomes crucial. Foreplay is about exploration, learning, and tuning into your partner's desires. It can start with something as simple as a compliment, a lingering touch, or a playful glance. These small gestures show that you are paying attention to her, and they build anticipation in a way that words cannot fully express. Touch is one of the most powerful tools in foreplay. It goes beyond just physical stimulation and communicates care, desire, and attentiveness. Start by focusing on her non-intimate areas, like her arms, back, or neck. A soft touch, a gentle massage, or running your fingers through her hair can set the tone and make her feel safe and relaxed. Pay attention to her reactions. If she leans into your touch or closes her eyes, it is a sign that she is enjoying the moment. If she seems distracted or tense, slow down and try something different. Kissing is another cornerstone of foreplay that should never be rushed. A kiss can convey passion, tenderness, and excitement all at once. Start slow and gentle, letting the intensity build naturally. Explore her lips, her neck, and even her collarbone with your kisses. Each kiss can feel like a promise, a silent way of telling her that you are there to cherish her and take your time. Pay attention to the rhythm of her breathing and how her body responds. Kissing is not about technique alone. It is about creating a moment where you both feel connected. Words are also a powerful part of foreplay. Compliment her in a way that feels genuine. Tell her what you find beautiful about her, not just physically but also emotionally. Whispering something playful or intimate can create a sense of excitement and make her feel desired. Be mindful of the tone and words you choose. The goal is to make her feel appreciated and understood. It is not about being overly explicit but about creating an atmosphere of intimacy and openness. Foreplay extends beyond physical touch and words. It can be about the time you spend together before any sexual act takes place. A romantic dinner, a shared laugh, or a meaningful conversation can all be part of foreplay. These moments build emotional closeness, which is often a key component of arousal for women. Making her feel valued and respected outside the bedroom lays the foundation for deeper intimacy within it. When the moment transitions into more physical intimacy, take your time exploring her body. Do not rush straight to areas like the breasts or genitals. Instead, start with areas that are often overlooked. Her neck, ears, lower back, and thighs are all sensitive to touch and can heighten her arousal when explored gently and thoughtfully. Use your hands, your lips, and even soft breaths to create a mix of sensations. Each moment should feel intentional, as though you are fully present and focused on her. One of the keys to great foreplay is communication, but this does not always mean spoken words. Pay attention to her body language. If she arches her back, sighs softly, or moves closer to you, these are signs that she is enjoying herself. On the other hand, if she pulls away or seems hesitant, adjust your approach. This is not about getting it perfect but about being responsive and adaptable to her needs in the moment. Foreplay also involves building anticipation. This can mean teasing her in a playful way that leaves her wanting more. For example, lightly tracing your fingers along her skin without fully touching her can create a sense of excitement. Whispering what you want to do to her, but holding back just enough, builds tension in a way that heightens desire. Anticipation is a powerful tool because it engages her mind and body at the same time, creating a deeper sense of longing. It is important to remember that foreplay is not just about physical pleasure. It is about creating a sense of trust and safety that allows her to fully relax and enjoy the experience. A woman who feels safe and cared for is more likely to open up emotionally and physically. This is why it is essential to approach foreplay with patience and empathy. Be present in the moment and let go of any pressure to achieve a specific outcome. Focus instead on enjoying the journey together. Foreplay does not have to end when sex begins. It can continue throughout, with gentle touches, soft kisses, and words of affirmation. Keeping the energy of foreplay alive during sex helps maintain the connection and ensures that the experience feels fulfilling for both of you. It is a reminder that intimacy is not just about the destination but about every step along the way. Ultimately, the magic of foreplay lies in its ability to bring you closer together, both physically and emotionally. It is an expression of love, desire, and respect that sets the stage for a deeper, more fulfilling connection. When you take the time to understand and appreciate the importance of foreplay, you open the door to a world of pleasure that goes far beyond the physical. Chapter 3: Sex and the Mind. The Secret Desire Connection. Sex is not just a physical act. For women, it begins in the mind. Desire, arousal, and pleasure are all deeply connected to emotions, thoughts, and mental stimulation. Understanding this connection is the key to creating a more fulfilling and intimate sexual experience. In this chapter, we explore how the mind shapes a woman's sexual needs and how to connect with her on an emotional and mental level that fuels her desire. The first thing to understand is that a woman's mind plays a big role in her sexual journey. Her thoughts, mood, and environment can either ignite her passion or shut it down completely. If she feels relaxed, safe, and appreciated, her mind becomes open to sexual possibilities. On the other hand, stress, anxiety, or feeling unappreciated can make it hard for her to feel aroused. This is why creating a positive and supportive atmosphere is essential. A simple compliment, a loving gesture, or an attentive conversation can do wonders to set the right tone. Communication is a powerful tool for connecting with a woman's mind and unlocking her desires. Talking openly about what she likes and what excites her can create a sense of trust and intimacy. Many women feel shy about sharing their fantasies or preferences because they fear judgment. By being patient and showing genuine interest, you can encourage her to open up. Asking her questions like, "What makes you feel most loved?" or "What have you always wanted to try?" can lead to meaningful conversations that strengthen your bond. Fantasies are an important part of a woman's mental connection to sex. They are not just about wild or forbidden scenarios. They can also be about feeling desired, admired, or in control. Fantasies often reveal deeper emotional needs, like wanting to feel powerful or to experience total surrender in a safe environment. Instead of dismissing or fearing these fantasies, embrace them as a way to understand her better. When she feels comfortable sharing her inner world, it deepens your connection and creates a space where you can explore new ideas together. Building anticipation is another way to connect with her mind and desires. Women often enjoy the build-up to intimacy as much as the act itself. Sending a thoughtful message during the day, complimenting her beauty in unexpected ways, or creating a romantic atmosphere can keep her mind engaged long before you're physically close. Small moments of connection throughout the day remind her that she is loved and desired, which can make her feel more open to intimacy. Emotional intimacy is a cornerstone of sexual desire for many women. Feeling emotionally connected to a partner can make physical intimacy even more meaningful. Simple actions like listening to her without interrupting, remembering small details about her day, or being present during conversations show her that you value her. When she feels emotionally safe and cherished, it becomes easier for her to relax and enjoy physical closeness. In contrast, neglecting emotional needs can create barriers to desire, even if there is physical attraction. Trust is one of the most important factors in creating a strong mind-body connection for sexual pleasure. A woman needs to feel that her boundaries will be respected and that she can express herself without fear of criticism. Trust also allows her to let go and be fully present in the moment. If she feels hesitant or guarded, take the time to reassure her and remind her that her comfort and happiness are your priority. Trust builds over time, and every small effort you make to show her you care will strengthen that foundation. The power of mental stimulation cannot be overlooked. Women often find words, stories, and ideas incredibly arousing. Whispering sweet or seductive things to her, sharing romantic or playful moments, or even reading sensual stories together can light up her imagination. Words have the ability to transport her to a place of excitement and desire, creating a deeper connection between her mind and her body. Don't underestimate the impact of a meaningful compliment or a passionate declaration of how much she means to you. Another important aspect of connecting with her mind is understanding her rhythms and moods. Every woman is unique, and her desires may change based on her emotions, life circumstances, or even the time of day. Paying attention to these shifts can help you adapt and meet her where she is emotionally and mentally. Sometimes she may need reassurance and gentleness. Other times, she may want passion and spontaneity. Learning to read her signals and respond to her needs shows her that you truly care. It's also important to recognize the role of non-sexual intimacy in fostering sexual connection. Activities like cuddling, holding hands, or even spending quiet time together can create a sense of closeness that naturally leads to greater desire. These moments remind her that your relationship is about more than just physical attraction. It's built on love, respect, and partnership. When she feels valued in every aspect of the relationship, her mind becomes more open to exploring deeper levels of intimacy. Finally, creating a safe and judgment-free space for her to express herself is essential. Whether she wants to share her fantasies, talk about her insecurities, or explore new experiences, she needs to know that she won't be judged or ridiculed. Being supportive and open-minded encourages her to embrace her desires without fear. This freedom allows her to fully enjoy the connection and passion you share. In conclusion, the mind is the gateway to a woman's desire. By understanding her emotions, listening to her thoughts, and creating a supportive environment, you can build a deeper and more fulfilling sexual connection. True intimacy is about more than physical acts. It's about celebrating her as a whole person, her mind, her heart, and her body. When you take the time to connect with her mentally and emotionally, you unlock a world of pleasure and intimacy that goes beyond anything physical alone can offer. Chapter 4: The Art of Oral, Giving Her Ultimate Bliss. Oral sex is one of the most intimate and personal acts you can share with someone. It's about more than just technique. It's about connection, attentiveness, and a desire to give pleasure. For women, oral sex can be incredibly satisfying when done with care and understanding. This chapter will help you explore what it takes to give her ultimate bliss, focusing on making the experience as enjoyable for her as possible. The first and most important thing to understand about oral sex is that it requires patience and attentiveness. Every woman is unique, and what feels good to one person may not feel the same for another. Take your time to discover what she likes by paying attention to her reactions. Does she sigh softly, arch her back, or pull you closer? These are her ways of letting you know that you are on the right track. Listening to her body is key to creating a pleasurable experience. Creating the right atmosphere is an important part of the process. Make her feel comfortable and relaxed before you begin. A soft, inviting setting with dim lighting, clean sheets, and perhaps some music in the background can go a long way in helping her feel at ease. Confidence plays a big role too. Approach oral sex with genuine enthusiasm, showing her that you want to please her and enjoy every moment of it. A positive attitude can be incredibly arousing. Start slowly and focus on building anticipation. Kissing her thighs, stomach, and other sensitive areas can create a sense of longing and excitement. Don't rush straight to her most sensitive spots. Instead, use this time to make her feel special. Let your hands gently roam over her body, touching and caressing her in ways that feel good to her. The goal is to make her feel desired and cherished before you move further. When you are ready to focus on her more intimate areas, remember that gentle exploration is key. Use your tongue softly at first, giving her time to adjust and relax. Some women enjoy a light touch, while others may prefer something more firm. It is important to pay attention to how her body responds and adjust your approach as needed. Experiment with slow, circular motions, gentle flicks, and varying speeds. Ask her what she likes or watch for the physical cues that tell you what feels good. Communication is an essential part of giving and receiving pleasure. If you're unsure about something, ask her. A simple question like, "Does this feel good?" or "Do you want me to do something different?" shows that you care about her experience. At the same time, encourage her to tell you what she enjoys. When she feels comfortable guiding you, it becomes easier for both of you to find what works best. One of the most sensitive areas of a woman's body is the clitoris. It is the pleasure center for most women and responds to gentle, focused stimulation. However, the clitoris can also be very sensitive, so it's important not to apply too much pressure or move too quickly. Start softly and build intensity gradually, keeping her comfort in mind. Use your tongue to create consistent movements, such as small circles or gentle back and forth motions. Taking breaks to vary your technique or tease her by slowing down can heighten the experience even further. Oral sex is not just about your tongue. Your hands can play a big role as well. Lightly running your fingers along her thighs, hips, or stomach can enhance the sensation she feels. You can also use your fingers to gently explore other areas while your mouth focuses on the clitoris. Just remember to be attentive and careful, always checking in to ensure she is enjoying the experience. Building rhythm is another important aspect of giving oral pleasure. Start slow and steady, giving her time to relax and enjoy the sensations. Once you find a movement she responds to, stay consistent. Women often find it easier to reach orgasm when the rhythm is steady rather than constantly changing. However, don't be afraid to switch things up occasionally to keep the experience exciting. The key is to balance consistency with creativity. It is important to understand that every woman experiences pleasure differently. Some women may reach climax quickly, while others may need more time. There is no right or wrong amount of time to spend on oral sex. The goal is not to rush her but to make her feel good at her own pace. If she doesn't climax, that's okay too. What matters most is the intimacy and connection you are building together. When she reaches the peak of her pleasure, stay with her and allow her to ride the wave of her sensations. Many women are extra sensitive during and after orgasm, so be gentle as you ease out of the moment. Let her guide you if she wants you to stop or continue. Afterward, take time to cuddle, talk, or simply enjoy the closeness. This reinforces the emotional connection that makes intimacy so special. Oral sex is an act of giving, but it's also an act of trust and vulnerability. By approaching it with care, enthusiasm, and genuine affection, you can create a beautiful experience that brings you closer together. Remember, the goal isn't just to give her physical pleasure but to make her feel loved, desired, and completely satisfied. When you approach oral sex with the right mindset, it becomes a way to celebrate her body, her pleasure, and the connection you share. Chapter 5: Rhythms of Passion. Sex that speaks to her soul. Sex is not just about the physical act. For many women, it is a deeply emotional and soulful connection that goes beyond just feeling good in the moment. It is about being understood, cherished, and completely present with someone who truly sees them. When sex speaks to her soul, it becomes an intimate dance, a rhythm that brings two people closer together on every level. This chapter is about how to create those moments, focusing on the kind of passion that lingers long after the act is over. One of the most important aspects of soulful sex is being completely in tune with her. Women often respond to the energy and intention behind every touch, kiss, and movement. Rushing through sex or treating it as a checklist can make her feel disconnected. Instead, it is about slowing down, taking the time to explore her body, and understanding what makes her feel truly alive in the moment. Pay attention to her breathing, her movements, and her sounds. These are her ways of communicating what feels good and what does not. Listening to her body without words can unlock a deeper connection. Foreplay is not just the beginning, it is a vital part of creating rhythm. Start by building anticipation with slow, sensual touches and kisses. Let her know she is the center of your attention and that there is no rush to get to the main act. Tease her, play with her desires, and watch as her excitement builds. This sets the tone for the rest of the experience. Foreplay is not only physical, it can also be emotional. Whispering to her, sharing intimate words, or simply making her laugh can create a sense of comfort and connection that makes her feel open to exploring her deepest desires. When it comes to the act itself, rhythm is everything. Many women find that steady, consistent movements help them get into a state of flow. It is not just about going fast or slow, it is about finding a pace that feels natural and exciting for both of you. This is where communication becomes essential. Ask her what feels good or encourage her to guide you. Do not be afraid to experiment with different rhythms and angles until you find what works best for her. The key is to stay connected to her responses and adjust as needed. Every woman is different, and what worked in the past may not work every time. Being adaptable and attentive shows her that you care about her pleasure. Creating a soulful connection during sex also involves looking beyond the physical. Eye contact can be incredibly powerful. Holding her gaze while you are intimate tells her that you are fully present and engaged. It is a way of saying, "I see you, and I am here with you." This kind of vulnerability can deepen the bond between partners, turning an ordinary experience into something unforgettable. If she feels shy or nervous about maintaining eye contact, gently encourage her without pushing too hard. The goal is to create a safe space where she feels free to be herself. Another important aspect of soulful sex is taking your time. Rushing through the experience can make it feel mechanical and empty. Instead, treat it as a journey rather than a destination. Explore her body with curiosity, noticing what makes her sigh or shiver. Pay attention to areas that are often overlooked, like her neck, shoulders, or the backs of her knees. Small gestures, like kissing her fingertips or tracing patterns on her skin, can make her feel adored and cherished. The more you show that her pleasure matters to you, the more she will relax and open up. Communication is not just about words. Nonverbal cues play a huge role in creating rhythm and passion. Holding her close, touching her face, or running your fingers through her hair are all ways to show affection without speaking. However, talking can also enhance the experience if done with care. Simple phrases like "you feel amazing" or "I love being with you" can make her feel desired and loved. Be mindful of how she reacts to what you say, and adjust your tone and words to match her comfort level. As you explore this rhythm together, remember that intimacy is not a one-sided experience. It is about mutual pleasure and connection. Encourage her to share what she likes and dislikes, and be open to trying new things. This kind of collaboration strengthens the bond between partners, making the experience more fulfilling for both of you. Celebrate her confidence when she expresses herself, and reassure her that her needs and desires are important. After the peak of passion, do not let the connection fade too quickly. The moments after sex are just as important as the act itself. Hold her close, kiss her gently, or simply lie together in silence. These quiet moments of intimacy can make her feel valued and appreciated. Let her know that she is not just a fleeting experience, but someone who matters deeply to you. This reinforces the emotional connection that soulful sex is built upon. Ultimately, sex that speaks to her soul is about more than just physical pleasure. It is about creating an environment where she feels safe, loved, and free to express herself. It is about being patient, attentive, and open to exploring her needs and desires. By focusing on rhythm, connection, and communication, you can turn sex into a meaningful experience that brings you closer together. When you make her feel understood and cherished, you unlock a level of intimacy that goes beyond the physical, creating memories that will stay with her long after the moment has passed. Chapter 6: Afterglow: The Power of Post-Sex Intimacy. Sex is often seen as a singular event, something that begins and ends with the physical act. However, the moments that follow can be just as important, if not more. The afterglow, the time spent in each other's arms after sex, is where emotional intimacy deepens and where true connection can flourish. It's not just about the physical pleasure you've shared, but also about the bond that is nurtured in these quiet, tender moments. These after-sex moments are crucial for maintaining a fulfilling relationship and fostering long-term closeness. The power of post-sex intimacy goes far beyond the simple act of cuddling. It's the space where you and your partner can reconnect, recharge, and reaffirm your emotional bond. It's the quiet conversation or shared silence that follows, where feelings are expressed, comfort is given, and love is communicated without words. This time after sex is essential because it helps both partners feel secure and valued. When a woman is held after sex, it gives her the space to relax and feel cherished. It reassures her that the connection isn't just physical, it's emotional too. This sense of care and tenderness can make a huge difference in how she feels about herself and the relationship as a whole. Many people make the mistake of thinking that sex ends as soon as they are done. They may roll over and fall asleep, or immediately turn their attention to something else. While there's nothing wrong with needing a moment to collect yourself, ignoring the afterglow can leave both partners feeling disconnected. For women, especially, the moments immediately following sex can significantly impact how they feel about the entire experience. If there's no emotional connection or reassurance afterward, it can lead to feelings of loneliness or even regret. That's why it's so important to make these post-sex moments count. After sex, there is often a shift in energy. The intense physical focus of the act gradually fades, leaving room for other kinds of connection. This is the perfect time to show your partner that they matter, not just for the pleasure they've given you, but for who they are as a person. A soft touch, a kiss on the forehead, or simply holding them close can communicate affection in a way that words sometimes cannot. For many women, this sense of closeness and comfort is just as important as the physical satisfaction they received during the act. It helps them feel seen, loved, and cared for, which strengthens the emotional intimacy between partners. It's also important to note that the afterglow isn't just about physical touch. It's about emotional and verbal communication as well. Many women appreciate a loving compliment or a few kind words about the experience. A simple, "That was amazing," or "I love being with you," can make her feel valued and appreciated. Acknowledging the emotional connection you've shared creates an environment where trust and intimacy continue to grow. This is where the true magic of post-sex intimacy happens, when both partners feel free to express their feelings, without judgment or fear of rejection. For many women, the emotional satisfaction from post-sex moments can even enhance their sexual experience the next time. The sense of being cared for and understood makes them feel more secure in the relationship and more confident about exploring their sexual desires. It's not just about the pleasure of the moment, but about knowing that they are safe, loved, and respected. This reassurance helps women relax, which can lead to better sex in the future. They are more likely to feel open and willing to try new things when they feel emotionally supported and secure after sex. The afterglow can also be a time to reflect on the experience, which can help partners grow closer. Some women may want to talk about what they liked or didn't like. This conversation can help both partners learn what works best and deepen their understanding of each other's desires. Open communication in these moments is key. It's about being sensitive to each other's feelings and being willing to listen without getting defensive. If something didn't work for one of you, it's a chance to address it in a caring and constructive way. This openness makes the relationship stronger and ensures that both partners are satisfied, not just physically, but emotionally as well. For couples in long-term relationships, maintaining the afterglow is essential to keeping the spark alive. It's easy to fall into routines, but taking time after sex to connect deeply is one of the ways to keep intimacy fresh and meaningful. As time passes in a relationship, life's stresses and challenges may interfere with physical intimacy. The afterglow provides a simple but powerful opportunity to keep the emotional side of the relationship alive. Whether you've been together for months or years, taking those few extra minutes after sex to connect and reflect can make all the difference in maintaining a strong, loving bond. The power of post-sex intimacy isn't just about what happens in the moments immediately after sex. It's about what it represents: a shared moment of vulnerability, trust, and connection. It's an affirmation of the bond you've created together, not just through physical touch, but through emotional presence. When you prioritize afterglow moments, you are telling your partner that they matter, that their comfort, feelings, and happiness are important to you. In the end, post-sex intimacy is a reflection of the overall health of a relationship. It's a time when the emotional and physical aspects of your bond come together, creating a deeper sense of closeness and understanding. This afterglow helps reinforce the idea that love and sex are not separate but intertwined. It's about cultivating a relationship where both partners feel heard, valued, and loved, no matter what happens next. These moments of intimacy, though sometimes fleeting, have the power to build a foundation of trust, respect, and love that lasts long after the physical act is over. Chapter 7. Exploring Her Fantasies. The Path to Sexual Freedom. Every woman has a unique set of fantasies that shape her desires and sexual imagination. These fantasies can be a window into what truly excites her, what she craves in the deepest parts of her mind, and what would make her feel more connected, satisfied, and free. While some people may be hesitant to explore fantasies due to fear of judgment or misunderstanding, opening up this conversation can unlock new levels of intimacy and pleasure for both partners. This chapter is about creating a space where those fantasies can be discussed openly, without shame or embarrassment, and where both partners feel comfortable exploring them together. The first step in exploring her fantasies is understanding that fantasies are a natural part of human sexuality. They are often deeply personal and may not always reflect what someone is looking to experience in real life. For many women, fantasies can be about power dynamics, sensual experiences, or situations that allow them to explore different aspects of their sexuality that they may not feel comfortable expressing openly. Understanding this helps reduce any initial discomfort about what these fantasies may involve. It's important to approach the topic of fantasies with sensitivity and respect. If you want to learn more about your partner's fantasies, start by fostering a safe, non-judgmental space for her to share. Begin with open and honest communication, letting her know that you're interested in hearing about her desires and that she can be as open as she wants without fear of criticism. Reassure her that you are curious, not to judge, but to connect on a deeper level. This can help her feel more at ease and less self-conscious. When discussing fantasies, timing is key. It's important to talk about these things when you're both in a relaxed, intimate environment. Don't rush into the conversation during a stressful moment or when either of you is distracted. Instead, create a comfortable setting, whether that's during a quiet evening together or after you've shared a more intimate moment. This way, the conversation can flow naturally and without pressure, making it easier for her to open up about her thoughts and fantasies. One of the most crucial parts of exploring fantasies is listening actively. Let her share her desires without interrupting or immediately jumping to conclusions. Understand that her fantasies are part of her inner world and not necessarily an indication of anything wrong or strange about her. They are merely a reflection of what excites and stimulates her in a safe, private space. Some women may have fantasies involving being dominant, submissive, or role-playing certain scenarios. These desires don't mean she wants to live them out in real life necessarily. They may simply be a way for her to explore different aspects of her sexuality. As you listen, pay attention to the emotions behind the words. Her fantasies may reveal more than just sexual preferences. They can show what she's looking for in a relationship, such as trust, adventure, or even vulnerability. She may share a fantasy about being adored or cherished in a way that connects to her need for emotional intimacy. Understanding the deeper meaning behind her words can help you approach the conversation in a way that enhances your connection rather than making her feel judged. Once the conversation has begun, it's important to discuss boundaries. Not all fantasies are meant to be acted on in real life, and that's completely okay. Both partners should feel comfortable expressing their limits. It's essential to talk about what each of you is comfortable with and establish clear boundaries for what is off-limits. A healthy relationship isn't just about fulfilling desires, it's about making sure both partners feel respected and heard throughout the experience. The next step is figuring out how to bring these fantasies into your shared sexual life, if both of you are open to it. Some fantasies can be explored in small ways that don't require huge changes or commitments. For example, you could incorporate light role-playing or introduce new forms of touch, toys, or settings that align with what she's expressed. The goal is to experiment with creating an experience that feels exciting and enjoyable for both of you. Exploring fantasies can lead to more creativity in the bedroom, where both partners feel free to experiment and push boundaries together. It doesn't have to be about completely rethinking your sexual life. Sometimes small adjustments and playful experiments can make a big difference. However, always remember that consent is vital. If a fantasy involves something that one partner isn't comfortable with, it's important to respect those feelings. A true understanding of each other's needs comes from clear and open dialogue. This is where trust and mutual respect come into play. If something is suggested that makes one of you uncomfortable, it's perfectly okay to say so and to work together on alternatives that feel safe for both parties. Exploring fantasies isn't just about what happens in the bedroom, it can also strengthen your emotional connection. When both partners share their hidden desires and are met with understanding, it can build a deeper sense of trust. Knowing that your partner can express themselves without fear of rejection or shame creates a bond that goes beyond sexual attraction. The act of sharing personal fantasies is a vulnerable moment, and the way it is received can have a lasting impact on the relationship. If both partners feel supported and open, the sexual connection grows stronger. Fantasies are also a great way to spice things up in long-term relationships. Over time, intimacy can feel routine, but exploring fantasies can break that monotony and bring a fresh sense of excitement. It encourages both partners to think outside of their usual sexual patterns and create new experiences together. It's about finding ways to keep the flame of desire alive, even when life gets busy or stressful. Finally, keep in mind that exploring fantasies should always be a mutual experience. Both partners should feel comfortable, respected, and excited by the process. It's not about one person dominating the experience or using fantasies to manipulate the other. Instead, it's about creating an opportunity for both people to connect, explore, and grow together in a way that brings mutual pleasure and satisfaction. When done with respect, care, and communication, exploring fantasies can be one of the most empowering and freeing parts of a sexual relationship. Chapter 8. Her Secret Spots. Exploring Hidden Pleasures. When it comes to a woman's body, there is so much more to discover than meets the eye. While many people focus on the obvious areas like the breasts or genitals, there are several other spots on her body that, when touched and explored correctly, can bring about incredible pleasure. These hidden spots, often referred to as secret spots, can turn an intimate experience into something deeply satisfying and exciting. The key to unlocking these pleasures is patience, attention, and a willingness to explore with care and respect. The first step in exploring these hidden pleasures is understanding that every woman's body is unique. What one person enjoys may not be the same for someone else, so it's essential to tune into your partner's reactions and communicate openly. This makes the journey of discovery all the more intimate and personal. One of the first places to start is the inner thighs. These areas are often ignored, yet they are some of the most sensitive spots on the body. Lightly stroking or gently kissing the inner thighs can create a wave of anticipation, as the sensation here is often heightened. The skin is delicate, and the touch here can be both teasing and satisfying. As you move closer to her more sensitive areas, you can increase the pressure or slow down to let her savor the sensation. Taking your time to explore the inner thighs builds excitement and trust, as it's a way of showing that you are paying attention to her needs and not rushing into anything. Another area worth exploring is the lower back. Many women find that the lower back is a spot that can produce intense pleasure when touched with the right amount of pressure. The muscles around this area are sensitive, and a gentle massage or soft caresses can trigger a sense of relaxation and arousal. It's important to not just focus on the back but also on the spine, where subtle touches can create a ripple of sensations across her body. Running your fingers along her spine or gently kissing her back while she lies on her stomach can make her feel relaxed and completely in tune with the moment. Next, let's talk about her ears. Often overlooked, the ears are filled with nerve endings and are incredibly sensitive to touch. Soft kisses or gentle nibbling on the earlobe can create a pleasurable response. Some women enjoy having their ears kissed or whispered in, while others might find gentle breath on their ears exciting. It's essential to pay attention to her body language here. If she leans in closer or sighs, you're likely on the right track. Be sure to experiment with soft kisses and gentle nibbles on both the front and back of her ear. These simple, intimate gestures can heighten her pleasure and deepen the connection between you. Now, let's discuss the area known as the nape of the neck. The back of the neck is a highly erogenous zone for many women, and it can be one of the most powerful places to touch during intimate moments. This area is often sensitive to light touches, and kissing or nibbling softly on the nape can send shivers down her spine. The neck, especially the back and the sides, has many nerve endings, and a gentle stroke of the fingers or lips in this region can lead to heightened pleasure. Slow, tender movements are often the key to getting the most out of this area, as quick or rough gestures might not have the same effect. The wrists and forearms are also areas that many people overlook, but they can be surprisingly responsive to touch. Gently caressing the wrist or running your fingers over the underside of her forearm can create an unexpected rush of pleasure. The sensation is subtle but powerful, and it shows her that you're willing to explore every part of her body with attention and care. You can kiss her wrists or run your lips gently along the inner side of her arm, watching her reaction to see what she enjoys the most. These areas are great for creating intimate, soft moments that can build anticipation and make her feel truly cherished. Moving towards a more intimate area, the perineum, which is the space between the vagina and the anus, can also be a secret spot of pleasure. Many women may not realize that this area can be incredibly sensitive, and light pressure or soft stimulation can bring pleasure during intimate moments. While exploring this area, it's important to be gentle and to communicate with your partner to ensure she's comfortable. This spot, though not often directly focused on, can offer deep pleasure when touched in the right way. The clitoris, often the main focus of a woman's sexual pleasure, has several sensitive areas surrounding it. While it's a well-known part of a woman's body, the key to fully unlocking its potential is understanding the delicate balance of touch. Some women prefer direct stimulation, while others may enjoy indirect touch, such as stimulating the area around the clitoris or the labia. Exploring the folds of her skin, teasing the sensitive areas, and understanding her responses will guide you in finding the best ways to give her pleasure. Lastly, let's not forget the importance of emotional connection during the exploration of these secret spots. For many women, feeling emotionally safe and connected enhances the physical experience. Creating a moment of intimacy where both partners can relax and focus on one another makes exploring these hidden pleasures more meaningful. A reassuring touch, a soft kiss, or simply a look that conveys desire and affection can make the experience all the more enjoyable. As you begin exploring her secret spots, remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. It's about creating a space where both of you can discover new sensations together. Every woman's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. Patience, communication, and a willingness to experiment with different touches and pressures will lead to a deeper understanding of what brings her pleasure. Ultimately, the most important thing is that both of you are present in the moment, ready to explore and enjoy the connection between you. Chapter 9. Sexual Confidence. Owning Her Desires. Sexual confidence is an essential element of a fulfilling and enjoyable intimate life. For many women, understanding and owning their desires is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Sexual confidence isn't just about knowing how to look or act, it's about feeling comfortable in your own skin, being aware of what you want, and having the freedom to express that to a partner without fear or shame. When a woman is sexually confident, she feels empowered to take control of her pleasure, communicate openly with her partner, and explore her desires without inhibition. This chapter delves into the importance of building sexual confidence and how owning one's desires can transform both the individual and the relationship. First, it's important to recognize that sexual confidence starts with self-awareness. Many women spend much of their lives worrying about how they look or how they are perceived by others. These worries can often bleed into the bedroom, leading to insecurities that may prevent them from fully enjoying their sexual experiences. However, sexual confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing your body, accepting its natural state, and appreciating it for all it does for you. Confidence comes from realizing that your body is a source of pleasure, and when you embrace it, it becomes easier to open up to your desires. For women to truly own their desires, they must first understand what those desires are. Sometimes, the pressure to conform to societal standards of beauty, or to meet the expectations of a partner, can make it difficult to explore personal preferences. However, sexual confidence allows women to tune into their own needs and take ownership of what feels good to them. This could be something as simple as knowing what types of touch or stimulation bring pleasure, or as complex as exploring fantasies and desires that they've never shared before. Discovering and acknowledging these desires is the first step toward building sexual confidence. One of the key aspects of sexual confidence is the ability to communicate openly with a partner. Many women may feel embarrassed or uncomfortable expressing what they want in bed, but clear and honest communication is the foundation of a satisfying sexual relationship. When a woman knows what she likes, she should feel free to share it with her partner. This might involve asking for something specific, such as a different type of touch or a certain position, or even talking about what doesn't feel good. Partners who are open to listening and being responsive to their partner's needs create a safer space for sexual confidence to grow. It's important to remember that sexual communication is not just about asking for what you want. It's also about being receptive to your partner's desires and responding with care and empathy. While owning desires is about knowing what feels good, it is also about being comfortable with exploring and expressing those desires. For many women, embracing their sexual fantasies can be a major part of this process. Fantasies are a natural and healthy aspect of sexuality, and they offer a glimpse into deeper desires. Some women may feel hesitant to share their fantasies because they fear being judged or misunderstood, but owning them is a crucial part of sexual confidence. Partners who create a judgment-free environment allow their significant others to share openly, whether it's about a specific fantasy, a new sexual activity they want to try, or a way to make their sex life more exciting. It is through these open dialogues that intimacy and sexual confidence can thrive. Another important element in owning desires is learning to say no when something doesn't feel right. Sexual confidence isn't just about embracing what you want, it's also about setting boundaries and respecting them. Many women struggle with saying no because they feel pressured or afraid to disappoint their partner. However, true sexual confidence comes from the ability to communicate boundaries and ensure that both partners are comfortable with the experience. Whether it's refusing a particular activity, setting limits on how far things go, or simply taking a break, Being able to assert your needs creates a healthier and more respectful sexual relationship. Self-care is also a big part of owning one's sexual desires. Women who prioritize their own pleasure often feel more connected to their bodies and more confident in their sexual expression. This includes taking the time to explore one's body, whether through masturbation or simply through conscious self-love. Masturbation is not only a way for women to experience pleasure on their own but also an opportunity to learn what feels good and what doesn't. Knowing your own body can make it much easier to communicate your needs with a partner, as you become more in tune with your sexual responses. In relationships, sexual confidence also allows for growth and experimentation. A woman who is comfortable with her desires is more likely to suggest new things, whether that's trying a different position, experimenting with toys, or exploring other aspects of intimacy. Exploring together as a couple can deepen the connection and increase the pleasure for both people. When both partners feel confident in expressing their desires and experimenting in ways that feel exciting, it can reignite passion and help keep the spark alive. Confidence doesn't develop overnight. It's a process that requires patience, self-compassion, and support. Women can start building sexual confidence by surrounding themselves with people who uplift and encourage them. Whether it's a supportive partner, a group of friends, or even reading books that promote body positivity and healthy sexual expression, having a positive and open environment can make a world of difference. The more comfortable a woman feels with her sexuality, the more empowered she will be to express herself authentically and confidently. Sexual confidence is ultimately about taking ownership of your own pleasure and desires. It's about understanding what feels good, embracing your body, and communicating openly with your partner. It's about saying yes to what excites you and no to what doesn't. When a woman owns her desires, she becomes empowered, not just in the bedroom, but in all aspects of her life. Sexual confidence isn't about perfection or meeting any external standard. It's about owning your own pleasure and feeling empowered to express it. The journey to sexual confidence is personal and unique, but it is one that brings greater intimacy, connection, and satisfaction. Chapter 10. Keeping the Spark Alive. Sex that gets better with time. As relationships grow and evolve, one of the most important aspects to nurture is the connection between partners, especially in the bedroom. It's not uncommon for the initial passion and excitement to fade after some time, but that doesn't mean the spark has to go out. In fact, with the right approach, sex can improve and deepen as the years go by. Keeping the spark alive is about finding new ways to connect, communicate, and explore intimacy so that sex remains exciting and fulfilling even in long-term relationships. The first key to maintaining a satisfying sex life over time is to focus on emotional intimacy. As we go through life together, we change, grow, and experience new things. The key to maintaining a healthy sexual connection is to stay emotionally open and attuned to one another's needs. This involves taking the time to talk openly about your desires, fears, and fantasies, without judgment. Over time, you may discover new things about your partner and yourself. Emotional intimacy helps you stay in tune with each other, making it easier to keep sex meaningful and pleasurable. One of the most effective ways to keep the spark alive is by prioritizing quality over quantity. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that sex should happen regularly, but the truth is that the quality of your encounters is much more important than how often you engage. In a long-term relationship, it's normal for the pace of sex to slow down as responsibilities and daily routines take over. Instead of focusing on a specific schedule, focus on making each encounter special. Take the time to explore each other's bodies, connect emotionally, and savor the moment. By giving more attention to the quality of your intimate experiences, you create an atmosphere where desire and passion can flourish naturally. As time goes on, it can be easy to fall into a routine, doing the same things in the same way. This is where creativity comes in. Trying new things together can bring excitement back to your sex life. This might mean experimenting with different positions, trying out new locations, or introducing toys and other forms of stimulation into your routine. You can also experiment with new types of touch or incorporate playful elements into your encounters. The important thing is to approach these changes with a sense of curiosity and fun, rather than feeling pressured to keep up with others' expectations. Keeping the spark alive often involves trying something new that adds a sense of adventure to your intimacy. Another important aspect of keeping your sex life exciting over time is taking care of your own sexual health and well-being. This doesn't just mean physical health, but also mental and emotional health. Feeling good about yourself and your body is crucial for feeling confident in the bedroom. This means engaging in self-care practices that help you stay in touch with your desires, whether it's exercising, practicing mindfulness, or engaging in activities that make you feel good about yourself. When you feel good about your own body and mental state, you're more likely to bring that energy into your sexual connection with your partner. In addition to trying new things, it's important to remember the power of touch and affection. Over time, it can be easy to forget the simple acts of affection that first brought you close to one another. Hugging, kissing, and holding hands may seem small, but they're essential to maintaining closeness. These moments of intimacy don't always have to lead to sex, but they reinforce the emotional bond between you and your partner. Sometimes, the physical connection that comes from non-sexual touch can reignite the passion and desire that may have been lost over time. Communication plays a major role in keeping sex alive in a long-term relationship. It's essential to be able to talk honestly about what feels good, what doesn't, and what you both enjoy. Many people are afraid to discuss their sexual needs for fear of making their partner feel inadequate, but the truth is that open communication strengthens the bond between partners. It can also make the sexual experience more fulfilling, as you both learn what truly satisfies the other. If something isn't working or you're feeling disconnected, being open about it can lead to solutions and adjustments that keep things exciting. Another way to enhance the quality of your sex life as time goes on is to continue to build trust and vulnerability. The more comfortable you are with your partner, the more likely you are to explore new things and be open to each other's desires. Vulnerability is a powerful tool in creating deeper intimacy. It allows you to be more honest about what you want, and it creates a safe space for both partners to express themselves freely without fear of rejection or judgment. As trust grows, so does the ability to let go and truly experience pleasure together. It's also essential to make time for intimacy. In busy lives, it's easy to forget to prioritize your relationship. Between work, family, and other responsibilities, sex can often take a backseat. However, scheduling intimate moments can help ensure that you don't lose sight of your sexual connection. It doesn't always have to be spontaneous or happen when you're both in the mood. Sometimes, just setting aside time to be close to one another can be enough to reignite the passion. This may involve having a date night, going away for a weekend, or simply turning off distractions to focus on each other. Lastly, laughter and playfulness are powerful tools in maintaining a vibrant sex life. As relationships mature, it's easy to take things too seriously or forget the fun and playful side of intimacy. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourselves, tease each other, and enjoy the light-hearted moments. Playfulness fosters an atmosphere of comfort and joy, making sex feel less like a task and more like a natural, enjoyable part of your relationship. Whether you're joking around or just being silly, bringing humor into your intimacy creates a relaxed environment where you can both feel more comfortable and connected. In summary, keeping the spark alive in a long-term relationship requires effort, creativity, and communication. It's about staying emotionally connected, prioritizing quality over quantity, experimenting with new experiences, and continuing to nurture the trust and vulnerability that are key to intimacy. With these practices, sex can only improve over time, creating a fulfilling and passionate relationship that grows stronger with each passing year.